we talked about just finding a way. We hadn't done it. And so my hat's off to the 2018 Broncos. They are the team that got it done. And I told those guys that. And I don't usually do game balls and things like that, but I did tonight and did it for the 2018 Broncos. And also, with Brett in mind too, I thought Brett played really well. I thought he played tough. I thought he made some really good throws. And this is a really good win. This is something that we came down here to get done. We haven't done before. Air Force, hats off to them. They're always competitive. They're always tough to play, and it's always been obviously that it's been tough to play here. But to find a way to get it done, to go finish, to play like we did in the fourth quarter, to come out in the second half, have momentum going into the second half, and that fourth down, making a huge play right there. Just really proud of our guys, and just I'm excited. I'm excited for this team that they were able to do it. We'll go back to work, but we're going to enjoy this one and figure out what we have to do to improve in the areas that we did not play well, which we'll do those things, but we got it done tonight.
You mentioned the score before half. I mean, they had done the trick play. They go up on you with a minute left or whatever in the half. To come down the field with 5 seconds left and score on that play like that, to go in, wipe the slate clean, 28-28. Yeah. How big was that?
Huge. It was huge. Yeah, we went into halftime with momentum, and we talked about that from last week. We didn't in the last game, and we talked about how important that was and how we wanted to come out and try to create that. And I thought the throw, I thought the catch, I thought everything about that play. Those guys just went out there, they executed, they made a play in that situation, and I felt like that was the right thing to do. And those guys have been preparing for that too. We kind of worked some of those things like that, not always the same situations, but they were able to get it done. And that was huge going into halftime, because we were truly 0-0 at that point. It was 0-0, and we basically said, all right, we started on offense. Now we're going to flip the script. We're going to come out here, we're going to start on defense, and just treat it as a whole second half, different game, and go out there and try to find a way to win, and they did.
You talked about Brett's toughness a couple times this year, but I mean, he gets stitches from that play at the end of the first half.
Yeah.
A lot of 3rd and longs and 4th and longs where he's got to hold the ball a little bit longer to get guys open and take some shots. What did you see out of him tonight in terms of making some really good throws while getting hit?
Yeah, well, don't like the getting hit part.
Yeah.
And I think that comes a little bit with the situation. But he hung in there, and he came over there, and you saw it, and he got his chin taken care of. And that's not what you want from your quarterback. At the same time, the guy's standing in there and delivering the ball and doing it the way he's doing it. I mean, that's the #1 requirement for our quarterbacks is toughness. There's a reason why. That's it. And he's just been displaying that all year long. And I think we protected pretty well tonight. They're going to bring more guys than we can block, and you're absolutely right. You got to hang on to it. It's 4th and 14. You got to get 14. You can't get 13 and go again. You got to get it all, and that's what he hung in there and was able to do.
Alex goes over 100 tonight. How nice was it to get the ground game?
Awesome. We needed that. We couldn't be one-dimensional. And you guys see how they play. They play a lot of guys in the box, and so we had some good movements, some misdirection, some of those type of things, and we were probably 2 or 3 away. They tackled well. That was one thing that stood out. They tackle well. I don't know how they get just the legs like they do all the time, because not everybody does that, but they seem to find a way to do it. And we are 2 or 3 leg pulls away from just exploding on some runs and probably having some 80, 60-yard runs. But either way, we were consistent. We pounded it, we ran it, we set edges, we blocked well. I don't know if we had any plays where we just had penetration right away and we were getting hit in the backfield. That was a major goal going into this game, is when we come out of it, let's just make sure we didn't have a negative plays because of what we did, and you can see the result. We're able to run the ball.
These guys have asked about some of those plays, but this did seem like whether it was 3rd and 10, 4th and 10, the play at the end of the first half or the play at the end of the game, it's a lot of clutch throws. I mean, how big was that from Brett? And sometimes, I don't know if you feel he's always been that way, but it really seemed like today that he was just clutch all night.
He's had a few of those this season, and tonight, I thought, and it's not only just our play selection. You asked your quarterback, what do you like in those moments too, and he had the right plays. He knew what he wanted to go to. He knew what he could go to, and he was ready for it. And now we've had a couple of those this year in the last few games where we've had to make some fourth down throws and some big plays, and we did it. We did it again tonight. I'm not sure if we have the same outcome if we don't make that. We don't have that momentum, because that was huge going in, and those throws you know, we believe in our guys, and it really kind of comes down to that. It's players at that point. You can have design, but it really comes down to guys making plays, period. And he did that, and then the other big part of it too on special teams, Avery Williams with the big return. You get him back there, Avery's going to have a big return. He gets us down there close to the end zone. We're able to punch it in. That was another momentum swing in the game that I thought was huge. I know he didn't score on it, but we blocked extremely well. Guys did exactly what we hoped they would do, and they were excited about it because Keelan Butler was out there in perfect position running, made a great decision, and we were able to get, you know, big yards out of it.
Defensively, probably not what your coaches probably wanted, but the second half was much better. What did you see kind of change there in the second half?
Well, I know defensively, I know overall the game is they're gonna look at it and go, that's not to our standard. There's a lot of things we have to improve on. Now, what I will say about our defense and the defensive staff, they made second half adjustments, which I think really good teams do that. They come out in the second half and they adjust and they make plays. And we were able to do that, and we stopped certain things that we didn't stop early on. We gave up some explosive plays. That's what it comes down to. And you can have 60 really good plays and 5 that you give up that are explosives. That changes the game. And that's the hard part about being on defense. You got to be perfect. You know, you got to not be perfect, but you got to be really good in all those plays because you don't know which one's coming. And I thought Air Force, they did some things differently that we hadn't seen. The toss pass and all that, they had a trick play in there. They did a good job, but we're better than that. We know that. We'll play better than that. And I know it wasn't to our standard, but I also know that we made adjustments, and because of those adjustments, we were able to win.
You know, you just mentioned the clutch plays. I mean, there was offense, defense. There were so many plays where the game could have swung if different things didn't happen. I mean, you've talked so much about not winning here, but I mean, what does it say about this team that the game could have gone two ways, a lot of different plays, and you guys were consistently, especially in the second half, on the right side of it?
Well, I don't think it's really X's and O's at that point. I think it's guys, what I thought, when it got more difficult, we got stronger. We got tougher as a team. We came together better than we have. And as corny as it is, we found a way. I mean, that's really what it came down to. It was like we were going to do it, we were going to get it done, we were going to come out of here with a win. Those guys decided that, and as the game went on, even though you'd love to be up and we weren't, we're battling back and forth, I don't think anybody flinched. I don't. There wasn't anybody flinching. There was nobody over there like, what's going on? We can't figure this out. Offense talked to the defense, defense talked to the offense, special teams were making plays, so guys were all playing together, and we wouldn't win the game if we don't do that. So I just thought they played with a lot of heart tonight, and it showed up. They had a lot of guts. They made it happen at the end. We were able to finish taking a knee, which is where you always want to, and we're excited for the game.
So do you have 70 game balls then to give out to every player, or what do you?
No, just one. We'll do one, and like I said, I don't normally do that, but these guys, that was a direct challenge, and not just for them. I mean, for all of us. You know, this is big. This is a big moment here, and I remember 14. And how painful that was to be a part of it. And those guys were a good football team. I remember 16, we were so close. And then here we are back in 18 to find a way to win. And we did win last year too. You know, so our guys have accepted that challenge, and they did again tonight.